Just days after the dramatic SSPX bishop consecrations and the resulting excommunications, the Vatican has made a major move. Instead of focusing only on penalties, Rome is now offering a clear path back. A path for SSPX priests, a path for SSPX faithful, and a path toward full communion with the Catholic Church. According to Vatican News, the Vatican has released detailed new guidance explaining exactly how members of the Society of St. Pius X can be reconciled with the Church following the July 1st consecrations that were declared a schismatic act. The guidance was prepared by the Dicastery for the Doctrine of the Faith. It is now being distributed around the world through apostolic nunciatures. One surprising detail stands out. The Vatican did not create a new commission like the former Ecclesia Dei Commission. Instead, responsibility has been placed directly in the hands of diocesan bishops and the leaders of religious communities that celebrate the traditional Latin Mass while remaining fully united with Rome. The Vatican first addressed the situation of priests. For SSPX priests who want to return, several requirements must be met. They must accept the Second Vatican Council. They must recognize the legitimacy of the Novus Ordo Mass. At the same time, they are still allowed to maintain their attachment to the traditional Latin Mass. The process begins when a priest finds a bishop or religious superior willing to receive him on a trial basis. The Vatican describes this as being received ad experimentum. The priest must then personally write a handwritten letter to Pope Leo XIV. In that letter, he must request the lifting of any ecclesiastical penalties connected to his association with the SSPX. He must also provide proof of his ordination. In addition, he must sign both the profession of faith and the formula of adherence. These documents require a commitment to remain faithful to the Pope and the Church's teaching authority. The formula of adherence includes another important condition. The priest must promise not to publicly attack the Pope or his teaching authority. He must also acknowledge that the liturgical books issued by Pope Paul VI and Pope John Paul II are valid, and he must accept the current code of canon law. Once all the documents are completed, the diocesan bishop forwards them to the Dicastery for the Doctrine of the Faith. If approved, the Vatican may issue a formal decree lifting the penalties. The priest can then begin a probationary period lasting at least 1 year and no longer than 3 years before permanent assignment to a diocese can take place. The Vatican also addressed the situation of lay faithful. Importantly, it stated that penalties cannot automatically be assumed simply because someone attended an SSPX chapel. Each case must be examined individually. The Dicastery explained that responsibility depends on full knowledge and deliberate consent. Some people may be considered formally responsible. This could include members of the SSPX Third Order. It could also include those who regularly attend SSPX liturgies while fully embracing the Society's doctrinal positions. For those individuals, returning to full communion requires signing the profession of faith and the formula of adherence. These documents are then presented to their diocesan bishop, who oversees the reconciliation process. But the Vatican identified another group as well. These are Catholics who attended SSPX chapels only for spiritual or liturgical reasons. They may have appreciated the traditional liturgy, but never rejected the authority of the Pope or the Church's magisterium. According to the Vatican, these faithful are not considered formally responsible. For them, the process is much simpler. They only need to approach a priest who is already in full communion with the Catholic Church. They must also decide not to attend SSPX chapels in the future. The Vatican says this new guidance is its first comprehensive pastoral framework following the recent schismatic events. The message is clear. While Rome continues to defend church unity and discipline, it also wants the door to remain open for priests, for families, and for anyone willing to profess the Catholic faith and remain united with the successor of Peter.